The Tule elk is one of these miracle animals that came back from the edge of extinction. It was down to, according to some people, as few as 2 animals. Other people say 20, but it was almost gone, this subspecies of elk, and now it's back. It's a miracle. The signal achievement of the Park Service in its obligation to restore ecosystems has been the triumph of the Tule elk there. This is the signal thing that they've done, and now it's in danger. For the first time in the history of Point Reyes National Seashore, they're being killed by policy.
Should they stay or should they be killed? New plans up for debate over the future of Point Reyes National Seashore, and specifically, what to do with the park's Tule elk.
They've limited to 120 adults, and so if the number goes above that, the Park Service plans to shoot those elk.
This is a bill to continue sustainable working dairies and ranches within a portion of the Point Reyes National Seashore.
Cattle are the #1 source of water pollution, ocean pollution, and biodiversity loss in our own national park.
There's no park like this anywhere in the national park system. You have wild elk, we have bobcats, I saw one 2 days ago, badgers, mountain lions, you have coyotes, all looking down from the peninsula to this amazing marine ecosystem. We have this incredible richness and in one place, and it's rare. My father was one of really the fathers of Point Reyes, so I'm sort of a brother of this National Seashore. I watched the park being formed. My father was at the signing of the legislation. He was there in the Oval Office with President Kennedy as he signed. And it says that historical, cultural virtues of this National Seashore shall be maintained to the extent that they are consistent with maximum preservation of the natural environment. You cannot have maximum preservation of the natural environment with commercial cattle there. This perpetuates a forced marriage of 2 completely different ideals of land stewardship. It's preservation versus production.
The question is, the House suspend the rules and pass the bill H.R. 6687 as amended. The opinion of the chair, 2/3 being in the affirmative. Rules are suspended, the bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table. Without objection, the title is amended.
H.R. 6687 essentially laid out a couple different things. It acknowledged continuation of ranches out at Point Reyes National Seashore. It also would have put into place the killing of the free-ranging Tule elk herd at Drake's Beach.
Now in Point Reyes, which is theoretically some of the most protected lands in the world, and it has a species that was brought back from extinction, and now you have the national park planning to kill the elk in order to protect the cattle industry.
This is an animal that's already outnumbered 10-to-1 by cows, which is contrary to all good park principles and law. There was a specific mandate for Point Reyes that this park would be used as a place to restore Tule elk. And that is now being ignored by the Park Service because of pressure from the ranching community who don't want to share their cattle grazing with Tule elk.
We're coming up against like twin challenges right now in the environmental realm. 2 that are front and center. You see them in the news, you see them in academic publications all the time. The climate crisis and this biodiversity crisis.
Climate change. Experts say that we have until 2030.
The biggest factor
is destroying natural habitat, the land for food.
Livestock causes more greenhouse gases.
If changes are not made, there will be irreversible damage to the planet.
The degradation of habitat, the fragmentation of habitat would have negative implications for the climate and for wildlife.
The elk are more natural and they fit into the natural environment. They don't have the impact on the environment like cattle, which have a much greater impact, as shows on the fence line there. On one side, there's big impacts, there's erosion and that sort of thing. On the side with the elk, it's a very healthy system with natural vegetation thriving.
We're at this point now where we need to really change our mindset, and that's not going to be easy because the cattle are everywhere. I understand and respect those businesses, but these are on public lands that are protected. It's time to make that change.
There are very few places that are ecological hotspots that have such dynamic biodiversity and microclimates, and Point Reyes is one of them.
Point Reyes National Seashore is home to 15% of California biodiversity. There are hundreds and thousands of plants and animals here, some found nowhere else in the world. And the Tule elk, which is endemic to California, they used to number 500,000 and they were hunted down to almost extinction in the 1800s. When something goes extinct, it's forever. Okay, we thought the Tule elk were extinct, but now we have the second shot. There was some left, and it's been one of the greatest conservation success stories in California.
It's a bad idea to expand agriculture in Point Reyes National Seashore. It's a violation to allow commercial, private gain in a national park.
We need to preserve the things that have always belonged there, and that's badgers, and that's cougars, and the Tule elk. That's what a national park is about.
The national parks are our masterpieces, and we're striving to do everything we can to get the right resources and the right experts in the right place at the right time to make sure we can restore those masterpieces. When I'm confronted with potential for such completeness, as I see out at Point Reyes National Seashore, I don't want to tell my kid that I had the opportunity to do everything I could to protect it, and I didn't. Point Reyes National Seashore is worth protecting.